Rated M for mature.
Don't let your kids watch it!
Oh wait, no, I exited the menu by mistake. Well, whoopsie poopsie doopsie. We still have the after party to go to. It's a tradition. I know I didn't do it for chapter 1, but that's because I didn't realize what it really was. Let's go to the staff room. Is this the after party? Oh, this doesn't seem like the after party. This looks like the criminal affairs department from Ace Attorney. Do you think that murder can be justified depending on the motive? Murder? No. Hi, this is Ryuukishi07. Oh, the guy who made it? Thank you for playing Higurashi When They Cry Kai, Chapter 5, Mikashi. Although I depict many deaths in my work, I often ask myself a question. That question is there such a thing as a justifiable murder? Justifiable murder? No. Justifiable homicide? Yes. In our world, murder is prosecuted, and the degree of punishment varies depending on the motive and circumstances. Having different degrees of punishment means that we are putting a value on the dead person's life. Some scenes justify murder in Higurashi. By degrading the life of the victim in those scenes, the players can sympathize with the character more easily. The degree of sympathy would be different from person to person. The people who could sympathize probably felt catharsis, and the people who disagreed with the character might have felt uncomfortable. That's indicated by how opinions are polarized regarding Keiichi's actions in Tatari Goroshi. Yeah, that's chapter 3. That one was technically a murder, but that's the closest one I would get to a justifiable one. That's also one that's borderline justifiable homicide, because you are doing it to protect another person who is genuinely being, like, tortured by someone. So, even if it technically falls under murder, I would say, okay, yeah, you should be punished for that, but less severely than for anything that Shion did here. In Mikashi, there are also a number of murders. Just a few. But this time, the main character, Shion, tries to earn sympathy for each one of them. She failed in every regard. How did you feel? She sucked. How much were you able to sympathize with her? Basically not at all. If you couldn't sympathize with her at all, then please berate her as a crazy murderer. I will. I got permission from the author, everybody. Let's go. Let's go. If you sympathized with her at all, then please have mercy on her. If you sympathized with her almost entirely, then please have mercy on her. If you completely sympathized with her, then please let us berate both of you as crazy murderers. Lol. Yay! See? Okay, even the author admits it. Let's go. What about me? Well, that's a secret. I'd like to reverse my question this time. What kind of murderer could you sympathize with if you were to be killed? Again, closest I would get would be Keiichi in Chapter 3. A murderer who doesn't care about people's lives? That'd be quite a regrettable death. It's extremely sad to be killed in denial of all your values. A murderer who begs for forgiveness in tears? That'd be quite regrettable too. They shouldn't kill you at all if they're begging you for forgiveness. That's true. You don't like how shiny the place is? Did he really write Higurashi in, like, a records room somewhere? No, probably not. This is just a stock background he has. So what kind of murderer could you sympathize with? In the end, sympathy might just be a method for making the story more interesting. If you can sympathize, it's fun. If you can't sympathize, they're just crazy. We cannot put value on human life. It's a sin to even try doing so. A murder is a murder. Nothing more than that. I just hope everyone can live happily together. How does that sound? Would you agree to that? If you wouldn't... Thank you very much for playing Higurashi When They Cry, Chapter 5, Mikashi. I could only bring out this 5th episode thanks to all of your support. Higurashi will only get more intense as it approaches the finale. Okay, interesting. Nothing would make me happier than if you continued reading the chapters to come. The next chapter will be titled... Oh, don't even do this to me. Sumi Horoboshi. Really, I'm rather fortunate if you enjoyed yourself even a little. Thank you again for playing. I hope this has brought a little color to your life. Well, I am colorful already. 07th expansion, Ryuukishi07. It's something you like, love with Ryuukishi. He doesn't force an opinion on the audience. He opens the room for discussion. If you sympathize with her, that's okay. If you didn't, that's also okay. It's not okay if you completely sympathized with her. He literally just said, you are also a crazy murderer, lol. Well, that was kind of refreshing. Higurashi When They Cry Kai. I like that. I think I prefer that, actually, to the after party. Mikashi staff room. We had a chat with Ryuukishi07. And with that, we've platinumed the game. What happens if we select character jump? Higurashi day. Oh. I'll pass on that one. He said they get more intense as time goes on. I mean, we watched a 10-year-old get crucified before our eyes. So it's going to be hard to top that for intensity. I hope you go back more to the psychological, like, stalker kind of thing. Hey, maybe Chapter 6 will give us a bigger lens on what happened in Chapter 1. That would be interesting. I think we kind of need that. So, yeah. I see why this is the answer arc, because we definitely got a ton of answers that posed to us. Unfortunately, the answers were for Chapter 2. And to be honest, I felt Chapter 2 was the most straightforward one of the lot. Although I guess this does put it in a new light. I think the main takeaways here are just I'm never going to sympathize with Shion, and anytime she shows up, I'm going to be, like, booing her. So, have fun with that, I guess, for future ones. But Chapter 2 makes almost complete sense now. Not quite. There are still a few open-ended things. We didn't get any more details on Mio Takano faking her own death. We didn't get more details on... Well, I guess we got a little detail on what was in the drugs or the syringe that Rika had, but not really what the heck is going on with her. We still don't know who's actually responsible for all of these disappearances. We just know it's now not the Sonozakis, apparently. Even, I guess it could be, but definitely seems to be saying that it's not them. So, that was interesting. At a Q&A, he was asked confirmation on a fan theory of something, and all he said was, "That's interesting, it could be true." Well, perhaps. We gotta wait a year for Rena. Yeah, that's true. Although, only half a year. I'm gonna try doing 2 of these per year from now on. So, Chapter 6 and 7 will both be in 2026. And then, I guess, Chapter 8, the finale, will probably be in 2027. So we will finish it in 1.5 years. So, it's not as long as you might think. I don't want to just do the next chapter right away, because then it's just going to be nothing but Higurashi for a long time, and I'm afraid I'm going to burn myself out on it. Because that has happened. There's a reason I don't play Lemmings anymore. Definitely burned myself out on that one. But there we go. Yeah, that was an interesting chapter. So I guess, if I do an overview, I like that the answers that this one provided. It definitely had some interesting aspects. I like that we got more details on Satoshi and, like, the previous year. That was cool. Having said that, I really, really don't like Shion as a character, so that made it a little rough. I would personally say this is my least favorite chapter. I think Chapter 1 has been my favorite. I think Chapter 3 was my second favorite. Then Chapter 2. It's this one or 4. 4 was just so different. It was way shorter. There was very few characters. It wasn't really a horror story, honestly. It's tough. I think I might have to chew on this one a little bit, because I still have to digest it and all that. But I'd say this one and 4 are probably my least favorite chapters thus far, and the other 3 I think were all very good. 2 is my least favorite out of the trilogy, though, because Keiichi was just a massive, colossal idiot. So and that's all I have to say about that. Yeah, thanks for joining in for this chapter, everybody. It's great having you all in chat, and great getting to chat with you, get people's reactions, get all the different theories going on. I know some of you already know all of the twists and what's going on. I really appreciate you guys not spoiling me on anything. I don't take that for granted. And I also like just the little theories that people throw out if you don't know. It's always really interesting, so I appreciate that. There will not be a stream this Friday on Halloween, because I will be visiting a friend's house and helping him hand out candy, potentially. Sunday, so I think what's going to happen, Sunday I am going to do a fun stream. I think I'm going to do a speed run of Donkey Kong Country, where I try to collect 100% in Donkey Kong Country as fast as possible. That should be a fun time. I want to give that a try. I think for the next couple of streams, we're just going to do fun one-off randomizer streams. And then, my new stream series for November, I am going to be doing a co-commentary stream. Me and Shaggy are going to be co-commentating a playthrough of Shenmue. Something I've wanted to play for a while. And if you know about it, it's basically, it's a famous game. And apparently the NPC dialogue is hysterically funny in it. In a Narmy kind of way. I can't wait. It's going to be different, but it should be a lot of fun. So yeah, thank you all for joining in. Hope you guys have a great rest of your night, a happy Halloween, and God bless everybody.